everybody. Welcome to another Staff Connection. I'm your host, Bill Culp, and you know the premise of this show. Real quite simply, we get to know those who are working in your district each and every day, making a difference. Why? Why does it matter? Not only do you matter, they matter. And today, joining us is Principal. We're here at Oaks. Mr. Mark Moyer. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing well.
That's good. I got something here for you because I just wanted to open this. Do you recognize this?
I do. Watched it last night. I've got about 45 shows DVR.
All right, so tell it. Maybe not everybody knows that. What do you watch every once in a while? Just don't be ashamed to admit that.
Okay, I'm a soap guy, and Young and the Restless has become quite popular in my household, and it gives my wife and I something to do from time to time.
Hey, that's all right. Some people watch it, but it's probably better than The Bachelor or something like that.
Oh,
so you guys watch it now.
Yep.
Are you like involved? Like, I don't know if you were like a Seinfeld, fan, but like one of the episodes, Jerry wouldn't admit he watched Melrose Place, and they hooked him up to a lie detector. So if I hooked up to a lie detector and asked you questions, would you probably be able to answer most of the Young and Restless?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think I could.
That's
Absolutely.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's that soft side of me, I guess.
That's good though. You gotta have something with the wife, so that's good. All right, so let's before we get into that. So obviously you're married. How long have you been married? How many kids do you have? And tell us about the family.
Going on 28 years of marriage and 2 boys. Jason is soon to be 25, and Joey is just turned 21 over the Christmas break. So
that's awesome. So they're out in the world producing and things like that. So you have one in college. He's ending up.
I have one
finishing.
that's a junior in college right now. One that's out, and it's hard to believe here. I've been at Oaks for 20 years, and they were just little guys when I started.
Yeah, so he's at Lock Haven, like your former, or was that your oldest?
The oldest one went to Lock Haven, and the youngest one is at Cabrini.
At Cabrini, all right. So your alma mater, Lock Haven.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll talk slow because I know Lock Haven isn't the best of schools. I'm just messing with.
Lock Haven, it was good
it's
for
like
me.
Cold country.
Well,
it really is. I was out in the mountain and this and that. Yeah. So that's great. All right. So like you said, you've been here. At Oaks. How long have you been in Oaks? How long have you been in Spring-Ford School District?
So this is year 20 at Oaks, and finishing 28 in Spring-Ford. And it's crazy how quickly the time flies.
How quickly it goes. And kind of reading about some of the things you wrote, besides time flying, I mean, it's got to sort of feel like home. You said your father, all right? So mom and dad were both educators.
Right.
Your dad was a principal
He
here?
was.
And how long ago was that?
Both my mom and dad started out as teachers, and that was around 1960. And then my dad was a teacher at Limerick Elementary School, and then he was appointed principal in the mid-60s. And at that time, for him, it was the Consolidated School, which is now the old district office that was leveled, and it was the old Oak School, which was still on Egypt Road, and then there was Montclair, which is still there, but I think it's some type of business now. And then in 65, when the current Oak School was built, they took everyone and they redistricted here to Oaks. So he was here until 67, 68, and then he left and went to Upper Perk at that point. And it's really kind of
teaching's in the blood. Now,
crazy.
Do you find yourself? Do you actually like call him? Do you find that maybe even in, like you said, 67, are you dealing with sort of similar situations and things like that? It's got to be pretty nice.
Yeah. I do remind him that education is different. The times have changed, and discipline looks different, and that type of thing. But we get it. We get a chuckle. As a matter of fact, a few years back when we celebrated our 50th, he and my mother came, and
that's awesome.
He said, "Oh, if I could only I could only tell you what it was like here, and I once smoked in your office, right? That's how much the times have changed. So yeah, we get a good laugh about that.
Yeah,
you
so
know.
if you ask him, like, I got 2 students here, got, like, hey, I'm gonna need some advice. They were caught on, doing a TikTok or something like that. He probably would be absolutely clueless with that.
Just remember, talk to the parents, right? It all starts with the parents.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got that blood, the educator's blood and things
Yeah.
like that. All right, so that's nice. Do you have brothers, sisters, and growing up?
I have one older brother who
Nice.
lives locally in the Birdsboro area, and it's nice to have him close by. But it's really just the two of us, so
Yeah.
it's a small family.
Now, what did you? I mean, obviously you came from the teaching background, this and that. Like, what do you love about teaching and also being a principal? What are the things you love?
Well, for both. It's the kids. I mean, we know that's why we do it.
Yeah.
All the other nonsense that we have to deal with really gets trumped by the fact that it's about kids. So, believe me, there are days that I miss that closeness of being with a class of students. But it's also nice every day to open the doors to 600 kids come in and all smile and that type of thing. So. It's been a best of both worlds, really.
Now, being a principal, I guess, like what's got to be one of the nice things. Do you find yourself, like you said, you came from the classroom and you miss, obviously you knew that. Do you find yourself when you choose teachers to work in the building that kind of fit your style, like the way you are, like you can kind of tell that they light up when they see the kids? Is that what you kind of do?
Yeah, and I think I can say it's been really very nice to be here as long as I have, because now I know everyone. We know each other. We know our strengths and our weaknesses. And I think anytime you bring a new person into the equation, you have to consider that, because it is a cohesive group. We want to make sure that these are people that will connect with us. And again, if you don't love kids, you're in the wrong business, right? We know that, so it's got to start with that.
Correct. All right. So, obviously, kidding around, principal, you think he's probably asleep here. Kids probably think, oh my God, Mr. Moyer's here all day. He's here every day. You have a life outside. So, one of the things, outside of school, you coach football here. You're involved. Undefeated season. You're like Bundy, from Married with Children. Undefeated season.
And it was really a cool situation, because I had come out of college. I played 4 years of college football, and of course, get into your first teaching position, you want to coach, and that opportunity presented itself. So in the early to mid '90s, I was able to to help out as an assistant at the high school, and we had a good run during those years. 24 in a row. We had won back-to-back championships at that point, and I had to kind of put that aside, of course, awesome, when I got into the administration. But then my coaching shifted more with my own kids as they were growing up and in the various sports that they played. So
that's good. That'd be involved. That's neat though. Undefeated season, so you got that. All right. So besides the coaching of football, I saw some of the things. What are things you like to do outside of being in the office and being with the kids?
I really love the outdoors. So of course biking and cycling is a big part of what I do. But I appreciate being in the woods. I do like to hunt. I like to get out. And you kid about Lock Haven. That was one of the nice things about being in Lock Haven. You got to do a lot of outdoors. Those types of activities. So my wife and I love to go out to eat. And, being an empty nest now, we're able to do those kinds of things and, really try to stay connected with family. But, for me personally, this love of getting on my bike and riding has, really become something important.
That's awesome. And you mentioned like a diner. There was the one diner you and your wife like to go to. What was that? Or a restaurant?
There's a few that we go to. There's a restaurant in St. Lawrence, which is outside of Reading, called Musso's.
Okay.
And then we go to the Bear's Den in Boyertown for breakfast,
That's
which
it,
is
the Bear's Den.
that's it.
Are you recognized there? They kind of like Norm.
Yeah, I've a little less hair, these days, that type of thing. But it's it's one of those hometown. Growing up in Boyertown, it was a. Can go in there and still see memorabilia and, those types of things. So that's become kind of our weekend.
That's
Saturday.
Great.
Yeah.
So all right. Now,
Yeah.
and I noticed, food-wise, you love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the mat right out there.
People
right?
know
So,
me, right? These
Chick-fil-A.
gifts come in. Yep. The kids are always
That's a
saying,
good
"Hey,
thing.
what did you have today? Is that lemonade? Is that the chicken sandwich or the nuggets?" So yeah, that's become.
What do you do on Sunday?
Sunday?
Can't go
is,
there.
No, as a breakfast
Chick-fil-A.
day.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty neat. All right.
Yeah.
So, I noticed, besides obviously Young and the Restless, I saw some of the shows that you like to watch, and I saw like a little connection there. Hopefully, it's the older version. We're probably close to the same age. So, did you like Magnum PI?
Yeah, I like those kind of shows, and I'll tell you the other one that I recently have gotten into that I didn't even include is The Good Doctor.
Okay.
The autistic doctor that's
Yeah.
kind of, that's another one like The Young and the Restless. It gets DVR'd and
Yeah.
then it gets watched when we have time. But yeah,
Nice.
we don't spend a whole lot of time behind the TV.
Yeah.
There's other things to do, but when we do, I mean, those are the kinds of shows.
So I
that
like
we
the
to watch.
nostalgia. I loved Magnum
Yeah.
PI. I loved
Yep.
it. Now, do you remember what car he drove?
I want to say the Ferrari.
It
but,
was. It
yeah,
was a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Remember the baseball hat? What team he used to wear?
You're gonna get me on that one. I'm not gonna even.
Detroit
guess.
Tigers.
Okay.
All right. You remember Higgins' two dogs, the Dobermans?
Now you're really gonna
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know if I was just gonna say because I
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
that show. Zeus
Yeah.
and Apollo and thing.
Yeah.
I loved everything about Magnum PI. Me and my brother always saw. I like the nostalgia shows. And
That's
things
right.
Like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So now, one of the other things is kind of interesting. All right. Don't mean to make you nervous here, but you said this isn't your thing, but one of the things you said you love to do, you love to sing, and you've done Elvis impersonating.
I've done my fair share. I've always been I think as I'm getting older, maybe I'm a little less willing to dress the part per se, but yeah, no, it's.
When you do that, what's probably your favorite Elvis song to sing?
That's a good one. I'm trying to think. The last time that I did this, I actually serenaded my wife. She came in. I mean, this goes almost 20 years back when we did this as an incentive, and can get falling in love with you. Those kinds of things.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah.
So, but you sing for your church.
I do.
And things like that?
Yeah.
That's
I've always
awesome.
had that.
So, did you always like to sing? And
I did.
Yeah.
It was. Another kind of funny thing is even when I was in college and I participated in the choir there, and I remember my dad saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm coming up to see my son, sing Handel's Messiah. Right here he is, comes off a football field, but then he goes and he, dresses up and sings." But no, it's always been, much like biking. It's
it's
something
gotta be
that
relaxing
yeah,
and
that
things
gives
like
me
that.
that
All right.
relaxation.
So, before we wrap this up, I always ask one question, simple question. So, in how many years, whenever we retire, Mark Moyer retires, Principal Mark Moyer, what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want the kids of Springford and things like that to remember and say about you?
I would hope, and at least, if anything, in all seriousness, I would want people to remember me that he was in it for the right reasons, and that was for the kids. It's always about the kids and giving them the experience, that they deserve. And so if somebody will say down the road, yes, I remember him, he gave me a fist bump, he pulled me aside, he cared about me, then I know that I've done my job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you experience. I'm going to get an experience right now because you know what? Let's go to Chick-fil-A and get something there. Thanks, Jordan. We're going to go outside.
Okay.